Let's get today's class going. So now I want to read a CSV data set, right? We have a data set. But first things first, there's something you need to know about data sets. We'll open it in Excel. Yours, Sophie, yours is in your documents folder. Hmm? Mine is on my desktop. So this is here. Here we have them. We have two of them here. Yours should be in your downloads. No, you will see two files. One is called um, demographics. So the names are demographics and population. Have you seen it? Yes. It's there. Look at it now. Look at it now. Demographics are moving. These are the two of them. Okay, let's go. Yes, back to R now. Open it in Excel, yes. Yes, open it in Excel first of all. Yes. No, double click to open it in Excel. That's what I mean. So mine was in a folder. What one I destinations? Both of them are destinations. How is that possible? Which of them do you have? P2 demography. So that means I copied the wrong one. Hold up. Hold on. Okay, I copied the wrong files. Okay. So let's open the demography. Open it with Excel first of all. So don't worry about the structure of the file. Let's just look at what we are having. Okay, please, eyes up. So we have how many columns? One, two, three, four, five. And the data set has the country name, the country code, which is just an abbreviation of the country name. It has the birth rate and the number of internet users for that country and the income level. So, from what we know about data, we have two data types here. We have our numeric data and we have the categorical data. These two are representing pretty much the same thing, right? They are representing the same value. So I'm looking at two categorical data and two numeric data. And these are categorical data because I can look at the relationship between birth rates and internet users for the low income people in a particular country. Hmm? That's what me I'm just looking at. So we can do analysis to say, let's see which country has the highest rate of internet users, and let's look at the how that affects their birth rates. So we can do pretty much all the basic analysis that we know how to do already with the data set, just by understanding the nature of the data set. Now, with Aaron, I want to take note that the name of the columns, there are spaces in between, which in Python is something we I don't like having that space. So what we'll do is we'll rename the column names so that they don't have any space in between. So, or we can just call this country, and but let's just make the name shorter so that we'll do less typing. Like it like that. We can do it here. Or anyway, let's just leave it if I say she likes it like that. Um, so let's import the data set. Let's import data set now. So in Aaron, to import a data set, we use a method called read. So if I do question mark read and I execute this, okay, read.csv. So this, yes, read.csv. All right, so if you look at the documentation for the read.csv, it says that it's a data input, that the description is that it reads a file in table format and creates data frame from it, which creates corresponding to lines and variables to fields in the file. So all of this is just a documentation on how to use it. So what we'll do is to use it, you say, as you can see, they are giving us a syntax. So you say read.csv, then you pass your file and some other arguments. The way we did it last time for under functions, did you do question mark and the function name, then you execute, yes, then it should bring out the documentation. All right. So to use this, we'll say we have to give it a name. So in Python, we are used to df, so I'll stick with that df, which will be equal to read.csv. Then inside here, I will say file.choose. You can see the option here, file.choose. All right. So I want you to be observant. The moment you execute this, and you call your data frame name df, what happens is that somewhere on your computer, Arrow will open up a small window that will allow you to browse to where that data set is. So let's see again. Okay, so for some reason, this.csv. Oh, sorry, there's a syntax error here. Here, this file. Before that, remove this bracket. There was a bracket here, opening bracket here. Yes, remove it. I didn't see that. So run it again. Yes, you are. So this is read.csv. What's going on? What's going on? Aha. Sullivan, have you corrected the syntax error? Okay. Sophia, what about you? Is yours correct now? Is correct. Lipe, you too? Okay. So watch. Highlight both of them and execute. It should pop up a window somewhere. Now, you may not see the window like this, but believe me, it is there. My file is on my desktop. Yes, run both of them. I'll show you where the file will be. Run both of them. You may not see it obviously, but it's there. So you have look at it. This is the window. So yours is because you have too many items in the taskbar. That's why it's not popping up obviously, but it's there. This is it. This is the window. Oh, is that your own? Okay, that's it. Don't close. No, no, it is it. You want to be sure. Is it? Just trust. So that's it. Now the thing is, it's not always depending on how your system is. Mine pops up automatically, like it pops up clearly. But sometimes you'll find it in your task bar somewhere hidden, but it's always there. So this is the best way to find your file. So what we want to do is go and select on this demographics data, then click on open. What will happen is that Arrow is going to create a data frame automatically from the data inside of it. Yes, I ask. It's your it's your machine. That's how it. Sometimes it looks old. Sometimes it looks no. Remember that in your environment on this side, you are going to see variables are stored here with their values. So if you look here, you should see the variable stored here in your environment. Then the output will always be in the console. That's what's happening. So once you pick it, pick the demographics. Yes, pick the demographic data, then open. All right. So there you have it. Now remember that um, on Friday, we said that if you click this calendar object, it pops up your data frame, your metrics. So this is the metrics we are creating our data frame out of. Something has happened. Have you picked the data set? How many times? That means you've run this in multiple times. This command. You have two windows open. Ah, this is it. You've already imported this. No? This is it. Okay. Open. Leave it. No, leave it. Just open it. Open it. Close that one. Mm, you click on it now. That's it. Now, see the thing I was explaining that. So now, look at the name of our columns. We now have dot, dot, dot. We now have country.name, country.code, birth.rate, because arrow will not allow that white space. So what it does, excuse me, what it does is that everywhere you have one space, it uses dot. So if the space was a double space, there will be two dots in between. If it was three spaces, you use three dots to fill it in. That's the problem with arrow. It doesn't allow that white spacing between names of columns. Okay, so with this done, we now have a data frame. So let's look at data exploration in Arrow. How to do basic stuff. Now remember that our data frame name is what? DF. This is our data frame name. So by calling this data frame name, it will print the value under. You don't have to re-import it again. So if you just run this line, it will just show you the values. Now, remember that thing in Python where you have the head and the tail, right? Now you have df.head, the .head method .tail. We also have them in arrow. So here, if we say data frame head, this will give us the first six. Sorry, this will be supposed to be head, then your data frame name. Yes. No, it's look at my own. My own is doing the same thing. How many columns is it bringing out? Scroll to the top. It's at the bottom. Scroll to the very top. Yes, it's complete. Don't worry. It's the way it's printing it. Don't worry about it. It's complete. So if you do head and you pass in your data frame name, it will give you the first six rows. You can see. Yes, but again, it's not very pretty as Python would be. Then if you do the tail method and pass in your data frame name, it will give you the last six rows. And again, it doesn't print as pretty as Python would, but it does the same thing. It's at the bottom in your console. Then other methods are you can do encol for your data frame. It shows you the number of columns you have, which is 5. And if you do n rows for your data frame, it shows you the number of rows you have. So we have 195 rows and we have 5 columns. Another beautiful thing we can do in the head method, we can pass in the number of rows we have. I can say 10, so like n equal to 10, or you can do just comma 10. And it will give you 10 rows from the top. So you could have also done this. And it gives you 10 values from the top. And from the tail, if I do 2, it will give me just 2 rows from the bottom. So now remember when we have describe that gives us the statistical summary in Python. We also have something similar. That is the summary. So the function is called summary. And if you ask for the summary of a data frame, it shows you the column name, country, right? The country code, it shows you all of the statistical estimates, the minimum value, the interquartile ranges, the mean, the median, and the maximum value. So this all is going to show you for each column. Any questions so far? There is no info. Summary is the info, and summary does the job of the describe. Okay, info. What we can use for the info is the structure method. Structure. Not this one. Okay, sorry, hold on. There's a method that does something. It does should be this one. Then what's data frame name? Aha, this is one that does the job of the info. The column name, the data type. So it shows this is a character, number, character. So this is the one that does the job of the info. Then summary does the job of describing the statistical measure for the data frame. Okay, moving forward, let's look at selecting in data frame. We did it with matrices, but let's look at how to do it with a data frame. It's quite simple actually, similar to that of Python. So our data frame name is DF, and the reason I'm using DF is so that you still have that feeling of still in Python. Yes. So you can use your name, yes. So let's put a column. We have a column called the country.name, which we can see here. Country.name. So we'll put it inside here. So, yes, exactly. TRY, thank you. So if I run this, I should get the column of country, just that column. And if I want the third, okay, copy that one first. So if I want to select row wise from that column, I can say, okay, I'll just copy and paste this to save time. Then I'll do comma, say 3. So this should give me the item at says non-applicable. Why is that so? Okay, so I'll take this to the front. Okay, the third, yeah, the row argument comes first. So the third row from this column, that should give me the value. So if I go back to the data frame and look at this, Angola is at number 3, row number 3. So always remember the row argument before the column argument. So I'm grabbing row 3 for this column. So you can pass in the slicing method we talked about, say 1 column 5. That's 53. 1 column 5. And you can see that I'm getting the data for row number 1 to row number 5 for this particular column. So 5, it's the slicing method we learned about in the metrics class. So from number 1 to number 5, 1 column 5. It's picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you look at the data set, at 5, we should have United Emirates. This is it here. Yes. Yes, Python is 0 index, arrow is not. That's the difference. Now, there's a faster way of doing the selection using the dollar sign, which is very fast. Yeah, dollar. Now, how this works is you pass your data name, your data frame name, then you put the dollar sign, and once you do the dollar sign, it shows you all the available column names. Isn't this wonderful? So if I want the country name, I just have to click on it. And you can also now put in the square bracket and say I want row 1 up to 10. And it does the same thing. So now I get it. So if I say my data frame name, dollar sign, I want the first 10 rows for the birth rate. All I have to do is say 1 colon 10 and execute. And I get all that value. Once you're done, please let me know so we can move on. 1 to 10, yes, row 1 to 10 for the birth rates. So now I'll show you how to apply this as an operation. Okay, we're not done. All right. So let's do a small illustration before we continue. Sullivan, are you with us? Why am I using blue? Okay. So what we're looking at is operations to not so much of a note. I just want to do an illustration. So we are doing still too much ink. All right. Operations in data frames. Okay. So in last class, we did something similar, but we did it with a matrix. Now, we can do all the operations you can imagine, multiplication, addition, subtraction, within a data frame. So what's going to happen is that the same way we had in Python, where if we have this colon, yeah, this is colon A, and this is colon B, right, still belonging to the same data frame, we can do an operation between these two columns, row base. So it's going to be a row-based operation where we will store the values in column C. But R is a little bit different. So if this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we say column A plus column B, the result will be 7, right? 9, 11, 13, 13, and 15, right? If we did a slicing from, if we say only the first two rows from column A, like these rows now, and only the first two rows of column B should multiply each other, we'll have a result that will be only two rows long. So it's only going to be 6 and 14. So you can do a direct operation between two columns in the same data frame, or you can only select portions. So we can even do two columns from the top. We can do column 1 and 2, multiplying the values of column 8 and 9. But the idea is that they have to be of the same length. If not, where will the last value operate with? There is nowhere for the extra value to go. So let's look at the way that will work. So the easiest way to do that is using this. Using this. So what we can do is create a variable name. Let's call this guy result. And result will be equal to our data frame, dollar sign. Let's use values that have numeric data. So if we pick the birth rate and multiply that value with the internet users, what will happen? So I'm going to execute that, and then I will print results. So now if we print the results, so these are all the values from that operation. And like I said, you can do a slicing. So I'll call this one result underscore 2. And I only want from the first row up to the 5th row to multiply the 5th row up to the 10th row. So run that. It says warning, longer object is no multiple of shorter objects. Why? Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let me try 9. Okay, that works fine. So this is 1 to 5. We should go from 6 to 10 rather, not 5 to 10. So I should be doing 6 to 10 here. Okay. Then if I print the value of result 2, and execute this. So you see we have the output here, all 10 of them. 5 of them rather, because we are grabbing the first 5 rows of this, and we are grabbing from row 6 to row 10. Is it working for you? All right. Lippy, everything is good. Yeah. Sun is sweet, right? Better than Python. Okay, what's the problem? Anytime you hear Python, you just be. Yes, we will. This is just data sorting, normal sorting processes. Yes, it's just normal sorting process. So if you do the that type method, yes. Remember we did type in the one type of. Excuse me. So type of, it tells us is a list. Doesn't say data frame. So if we do type of results, it tells us that is a double. So when you see a list, this is how Arrow stores its own data frame object. Yes, it's an array. Yes, to see data type, to show you lists. I not get you. No, Python will show you a pandas data frame call. If it's a numpy, it will show you a ND array. All right. So what we can also do is so that's how we move fast. Is we can also do comparison operators. So now let's say we want to only grab birth rates that are above a certain value. So I'll do my data frame dollar sign birth rate and then greater than, let's say greater than 100. The moment you execute it, it returns false, 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 false. Why? Okay, what we'll do is, let me see. So I'll call this comparison. So comparison would be equal to my data frame where the birth rate is less than 50, and then I will call that comparison. It's turning true. I need to return values, not. Okay, the reason why it's doing this is because it is not a column. So let's me get rid of this. And let's see how to add a new column. Add a new column. That's the reason why it's returning it like that. So to add a new column, what we'll do is, how we'll do that, we'll say data frame, and then we'll call this new, yes, new column. And that will be equal to maybe, no, the operation was not giving me the values I wanted. So now this would be, this will now be, let's say, our data frame, say the birth rate multiplied by our data frame internet users. All right. So if we should look at the structure of the data frame again, we should have new column. All right. New column is there. So if we want to draw a comparison, I just multiply birth rates by internet users. So the math doesn't make any sense, but at least it illustrates the example. So now I can say that my data frame, the new column just click on this icon, this one here. So if I look at the new columns values that are greater than, say 50, still getting just Boolean results, even after creating it as a column. Hmm. Supposed to get the actual values. If I call the values, it returns fine. If I call the column, it returns normally. The moment I add a comparison, it starts throwing booleans. Mm, yes, it's returning just booleans for me. I want to return only the values that are greater than 50. Hmm. Okay, let me try something. I'll do my data frame and I'll save this in a variable name. We have that variable called comparison, right? So I will invoke it again. Comparison. And let comparison be equal to this, right? Let comparison be equal to that. Then what we will do is to call our data frame, and inside here I will select comparison, the comparison variable, and let's see now. Okay. It seems to be working. Source your data frame. So here what we are doing is we are sorting data